Hello. Are we live? If we are, just please give me a second to check that we're live. We are. Hello, ladies. This one, first of all, I think I can still say it. It's the 13th of January, so happy New Year if you're watching this. I don't know where I'm going to post this, if I'm going to share this publicly elsewhere from Facebook. There's a few changes going on here within the Stacey Sargson wonderful universe. So you're welcome wherever you may be watching this, or if someone shared this, if you have stumbled upon this for the first time. Hello, gorgeous. My name is Stacey Sargson, and for well over a decade now, I have been harping on about how you get to live your best life unapologetically, whatever that entails. And on today's live stream, on today's video, I am going to be talking about some things that many people get their knickers in a twist about. So you have been warned. I am talking about money. I'm talking about there is something to be said, my friends, around a woman who will not give up. And if that is you, if you have said to yourself, if these words have left your lips, I am not playing small anymore, or this is my year, or enough is enough, I hear you, I see you, I have been you, and this place on on the interwebs, as people call it, or online, like I said, I've been doing this for over a decade, and your girl is not shutting up about it, especially now, and I'm going to tell you for why. So if you have felt really, and I mean not empty words, because we know as ladies, we can say something and we kind of give ourselves an out. If you have honestly said to yourself, like, okay, enough is enough, this is going to be for you. So please bear with me. I want to make sure that I'm sharing this for anybody who wants to watch it. Like I said, I don't know where I'm going to be sharing this. If I'm going to keep the replay or not. So if you're watching this right now, you're watching it for a reason. If you stumbled upon this, you're stumbling upon it for a reason. So if you see me on Instagram, particularly, is where I'm most active these days. But if you see me on Instagram, get out. She is on. The Melissa is on. Hello, gorgeous. Welcome. Thank you for saying hello, gorgeous. We've shared behind the scenes, this is nerve wracking, right? This is nerve wracking when a woman decides enough is enough and she gets back up, and regardless of who is watching or whatever, like that takes brass balls, vaginas, as I used to say. So if swearing is not your bag, I'm not for you. If you do have little ones, please put your earphones in, because I tend to swear. I try not to, but I do tend to swear. If you saw, as I was saying, if you saw on my Instagram, I recently shared a post around, I've heard it many a times in different iterations. Like I said, I've been doing this about 10 years now, well over. And when I started my business out of thin air, it was because I just didn't want to do corporate anymore. I didn't want life how it was to be how it was going to be forever. And the only way that I thought that I could make the money that I wanted to was by doing what I studied to do at university. Now, it was then when I stumbled upon somebody online doing something different by, like, honestly, working from a laptop on a beach. First of all, you can't do that from hindsight. From actual experience now, that can't happen because the glare on your laptop, it makes it a nightmare. So it's wonderful. But anyway, I digress. So I saw a woman unapologetically sharing. She was traveling around the world on her laptop, and I was like, how the fuck is she getting to do that? And most importantly, what are you doing? What are you doing? In like, not in what are you doing, in a what are you doing? Tell me. And I am fully aware now, after all the years, that it is pretty, it's more common than it was back then. Okay, and we're gonna get to that point in a second, but hold your horses. And so when I saw another woman, like, not sorry that she wasn't subscribing to the notion that the only way that she could live the life that she wanted was to do what everyone else said that she had to do. And I instantly said then to myself, that type of woman is my kind of woman. And so if you're feeling that with me, I'm not just saying that because it's good sales tactics, good sales spiel, although it is. It's because I know that when you see somebody, there's something about them. Okay. And women that are in my world and have been for over a decade, we understand that. Like there was something about this woman walking up and down a beach, talking into a camera and uploading it onto YouTube. And I was just like, what? And then I decided, without any real logic, I need someone to show me how to do that, because I don't know how I can carry on with the only option is to live and work in this corporate cage, even though I studied it, even though it was my dream job at the time. And so I'm saying this because no matter where you're at, for you to come to the conclusion in your life to say enough is enough, enough is enough. I don't know what that looks like. It could be a job, it could be your business, it could be, like I said, there's something about a woman not giving, there's something about a woman not giving up. And I have lived this very thing, and I'm going to go into it very recently. Okay. And so I posted on Instagram how I was starting to do this. I invested in someone to help me. What would I do? How could I make that happen? How could I make money online? I'm not qualified in anything. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a this, I'm not a that, to get out, like to move outside of my own head. And it didn't seem logical at the time, ground myself. It didn't seem logical at the time to invest hundreds and hundreds of pounds to meet this random woman in a cafe in London. But I did, because I was like, I want out. I want someone to tell me and show me how to do this. There wasn't this, it just wasn't. And so I don't necessarily, I kind of understand people that do it, but I don't get it myself because I'm not like that. If I can, I will. And if I can't, I'll find a way. Right? And so I put it on my credit card. Some will see that irresponsible. I saw it as an investment in my future self. And I was just, without anyone having to tell me that, I was like, I'm investing in knowing how, so I can live a better life, be a person that has more freedom, be a person that can make more money than I am working all these hours for somebody else. I didn't necessarily look at it with skepticism. And again, maybe that was naivety. I don't know, because I know full well, I'm going to talk about those of us who have invested and not seen the results. But deep down, you know, to get out your own way, we've got to put skin in the game. We know that we're clever women. Anyway, maybe I'll come to that. Maybe not. Let's just see where we go. And so when I decided to invest in someone and to make it happen, I started on this very Facebook page. And I started sharing with people how I didn't know where I was going, how it was going to happen. I just knew I had to find out. Hi, gorgeous. I just knew I had to find out, and I was willing to do whatever to make it happen. Confirmation chills. Oh, I was willing to do whatever to make it happen. Now, even at that time, I was met with ridicule. I was met with people going, all of that. I didn't care. I was like, no, we are going to live a different life. And I am willing to do whatever to be that woman, to do that thing, to become whatever I need to become. Because the alternative, I wasn't about it anymore. And so then I started to do videos. Many of you who watch this now were there, the OGs. Like, I've got old clients watching who turn into incredible friends who we've reconnected again. It's no mistake there's this uprising of women deciding, particularly, I work with men too, but particularly women saying enough now. Like, we need to step things up. We need to get out of our own way. We need to stop playing small. And even as a woman that is a go-getter, again, I'll talk into it more, there's this visceral feeling within my DNA, within my spiritual essence, that's like, come on, Sargson, no, we're not listening to other people's limitations. And we're also certainly not listening to our own resentment that's happened because of the coaching business, or because of the coaching world, or because of all these other investments we did or didn't do. And we're not going to be worried about people that don't get it, that don't want to invest in themselves. Like, okay, go and consume to your heart's content without doing anything about it. But I'm not that person. And people that are in my world we're not those women either. And so, love and light, you go and do you, but we're going to go and actually do something about this, because we're sick of seeing what's happening in the world and just going, oh, thoughts and prayers. Be the change. Be the change. So then I started making money and I started charging thousands straight out the gate. No life coaching qualification. Decided I wanted to help people just like I did. I invested hundreds to meet someone for a cup of coffee for her to listen to me. Some could say that's therapy, but I don't just want someone to listen. I wanted someone to give me guidance, to help me, to say, you could do this. Have you thought of this? Right? And so I was like, that's what I would like to do. I just found my whole life has changed in this very conversation. And I want to do that for other souls around the world. And I also want to leave my corporate job. So I don't want to just whole life. And some people didn't want to change their lives. They just wanted an additional revenue stream. And I was like, everyone was like, what are you? Are you a business coach? Are you a life coach? I was like, I'm a coach. I don't know. I don't care what you call me. Catalyst, transformational coach or mentor. I know I'm somebody that will change your life forever purely by my presence, through what I share, from how, you walk into a room, physical or online, you will never leave the same woman. That is my guarantee. I know that. I've known that since I was a little girl. This cheerleader, it's beyond that. It's beyond that. Different perspectives. And so when I started jet setting around the world, I started sharing. I was able to spoil my loved ones, like literally do first class Emirates countless times, sharing it online. And then that's when it shifted. So this is for you if you felt this too, not just about me listening to me. If you felt this too, if there's been parts in your life where you went down a certain road or you were doing stuff and it seemed to go great, and then all of a sudden things just halted or stopped, maybe it's because somebody had said something and it caused you to go off course a little bit. Could be a partner, could be an ex-lover, it could be a family member, a friend, a random stranger online that has no idea who you are but feels the need to be a little bit of a troll. I've had it all. And I share this because around about 2021, really a bit before that, as God is my witness, a bit before that, but really 2021, 22, up until the end of last year, things were just like dead as a dodo. I had a couple of clients, very grateful, they know who they are, but something was amiss. Something just didn't feel right. But it wasn't me not wanting to help people. What has this got to do with you? If you are watching this, there is something in your spirit, in your soul, that you know you are here for, or that you feel it's got to be something else than what you are doing. Because they are the only people that really resonate with me and watch me for as long as I talk on my. I've learned I'm a long form content gal, and so if you're still watching this, what are we, 14 minutes in? There's something here, and I don't know because I'm not working with you, but the chances are, what I do know to be true, is that there is something in your spirit that you know you're meant to do, or a feeling, or a mission. But somewhere along the lines, because you're a badass, you're amazing. And if no one's told you this today, you have gone through things that no one has seen. And you still, you still picked yourself back up, because who else will, right? Or who else has? You've picked yourself up, you've wiped your tears, you've opened up your laptop or your phone, and you've looked and been like, okay, what are we doing here? Like, I can't not do this. Trust me, I know I've been there. There's times where I'm like, I just want this vision to be taken away from me because it seems to be leading me down crickets, which was, like I said, the last few years. But I still couldn't jack it in. I still couldn't. I wanted to. But something deeper within me was like, no, Sargent. We're still, no. You cannot unsee, unfeel, unknow what you have unearthed, unlocked, aligned with. And this is where I'm saying there's a lot of women over the last year, decade, I would say, again, OGs in particular, but people who we've invested before. We're not shy. We've done those things, but maybe there's been a time that all the roads have led us to be broke, whether that be financially, spiritually, physically, like mentally, like just fragments of ourselves. And we're picking up the pieces. Because I shared it very openly last year, we're picking back up the pieces and being like, nice try, Not today, Satan, not today. We've still got these visions for a reason, and we know that because we've done the work, we do the work, we're not shy of that. So I'm not really talking to those of you who are not willing to invest time, effort, energy, resources. It's just not a thing. We're just like, yeah, you're probably a bit pissed and a bit annoyed because you have invested, and maybe you're not where you thought you would be, even if you look back of all the stuff you've invested in. Yeah, I get it. I've been there too. I have been there too. But do you know what I also know to be true? Is that I would do it all over again. I'm a person that invests in myself, invests in my future, invests in my future self, and also invests in you. Anybody that wants to work with me. Like, everything I'm learning makes me a better mentor, a better confidant, whatever you want to call me. I know because I'm sat right in front of you and I've gone through fucking hell too. But and okay, that's hasn't stopped us. And so I'm saying this because by having people say to me, who wants to see you bragging or showing off being in the air at 40,000 feet? And I did it on my Instagram stories just a moment ago. I tell you who wanted to see it. My past self. My past self wanted to see women like me do the thing. Even in the face of adversity, even in the face of everyone going, it's not happening. Do you know what I had last year? They know who they are, and I love them dearly. But I did get told, read the room, Sargison. No one wants what you're doing. That bubble's burst. And I was like, how though? How is that bubble burst? I'm a woman that wants to do better, be better, impact others in a beautiful way, make more money, not be apologetic about it, have financial freedom, have spiritual cleanliness, integrity. Yeah, but Stacey, you owe all this money. But Stacey, you're behind on rent. But Stacey, you've invested literally everything, even like freezing your eggs. That's not going to be a thing because you've just spent it all on your business. And I'm saying this not as, oh, woe is me. I'm saying this is, we're the type of women that go all the way. When we say we go all in, that's what it means. All in. And if I don't have anything left, I get back up and I find it from somewhere. That could be, like I said, energy, effort, resources, finances. I've had people threaten to be like, I'm going to share publicly what you really are. I'm like, nice try, buddy. I've already shared it. Like, I've already shared how all I saw was crickets in my business, yet still I showed up. Did I or did I not? If you watch me, you know. Sharing live videos, sharing my truth, sharing how I know it doesn't make sense, but success is a choice. It's not something you see and go, oh, now I'm a success because out there has proven. No, you've got to prove it to yourself first. And success can look like anything. I don't just mean financially. I mean impact. I mean simply you being the woman of your word and the mother or the sister or the friend that you said you were going to be. Am I perfect? No. But do you know what I do know to be true more than anything else? And what I can look in the mirror, and this is for you if you're feeling this too. I have said this for over a decade. Mark my words. When you see it, it's because it is meant for you. But you have to decide. You have to choose it. You have to decide it. Even when it looks like it's impossible. Everybody loves to see a success story, but they don't want what it takes. And this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where I've had people threaten me. I've had friends like the year of the snake, if you know, you know, right? But there's still something within us. If you're watching this, not on my watch, right? If you're watching this, you know in your heart of hearts, it's meant for you. Like you can't let it go because you're not meant to. Because if you were meant to let it go, it would be gone. If you were meant to let this vision that you have, the life that you desire, the partner, the love, right? The impact, the money. I don't know what it is that you're desiring, but whatever you've said this year, right, no more playing small. What that really means is no more of letting other people tell you what you can and cannot have. only you can decide what you will or won't have based upon whether you do or don't do the thing, or be the person, or do the work, or say yes. And like I said last year, particularly, whether it's people saying I'm going to out you, well, that's why I share it online first. So I did it. So good luck to you. But I say that because this is how everything changed as well, and how people are starting to message me again and inquire and say, okay, Stacey. A lot of people will say, well, because your life is falling to shit, because you were in a shit sandwich. I even told myself that when you have people tell you things and you let that little earworm in, because maybe you're low, because maybe you're not sleeping very well, maybe you're speaking to yourself as if you would an enemy instead of your best friend or a loved one. Remember that little girl within you. Stop speaking to her like she's shit. Right? I don't know who needs to hear that. It just came through my spirit. Because when you stop protecting yourself in that way, you let other people's opinions infiltrate your destiny. Woo! Oh my God, confirmation chills. Can I get an amen? You allow those little, excuse the hair, but it is what it is. You allow those little nuance, those thoughts penetrate and infiltrate, and before you know it, like I did, I was showing up but nothing was budging, because deep down I didn't feel good enough. Deep down I felt, yeah, actually they're right, who would pay me that? Deep down I did think, yeah, but who would hire me when my finances are shit? Like, what? You've still done the thing. I did a video, I did a live stream. I took it off until unless you're subscribed to me, like you can't see you can't see most of the stuff. I've taken it all offline. There's a method to my madness. But yeah, so I said it in one of my live streams, which was like, you don't say, depending on what you believe in, because of different thoughts, but you don't say to somebody who's gone to space, like you don't say to Neil Armstrong, Neil, mate, you're not an astronaut anymore. And he's going to be like, what do you mean? And you're going to be like, well, because you're not actually in space now. Just because he's not wailing around in space doesn't mean he's not an astronaut. Whatever you have done in your life, whatever it is that you have achieved, whatever it is, knowledge that you have, just because you may not be there now, but you have done the thing. You have done the thing. Nobody can take that away from you. You have that knowledge. You have that experience. So anybody to say, well, Stacey, why would they hire you when, like, look at your life? Lean in. They still fucking did. Do you know why? Because people want realness, not perfection. Okay, side note. So I thought that until I decided nobody gets to tell me what I get to achieve or experience or not. And so when you look within yourself, when you honor yourself, when you say, do you know what, actually, whether that person wants to date me or not does not stop my dream man from wanting to marry me one day, should I want that. Right? My dream clients, the women saying yes, the women that are reaching out, is because I decided I know what I'm talking about. And if you want to move out of your own way, I'm your woman, because you cannot and will not leave the same after we meet. It's impossible. It is impossible. That isn't just fluff, that's fact. Because we are women that are willing to die on the sword of what we are talking about, what we are sharing, what we live for, what our values are, and yet still here I am, yet still here you are. Right, gorgeous? And so anything that you are, like, whatever it is that you're feeling, disconjointed, lacking clarity, maybe your confidence has taken a bit of a whack, maybe you're looking and you're like, what content am I going to put out? I know who's watching. What content am I going to put out? Remember who you are. And if you need a little reminder, welcome to my world. Because we don't cower. We're not cowards. We don't say, oh yeah, your limitations over there are going to be my limitations now. No. You don't want me to show that I'm 40,000 feet in the air of what's possible because I'm not, I should shut up because I'm not comfortable with my happy 9 to 5 keeping up with the Joneses life. That's you. I'm not telling you how to change. I'm not telling you that you've got to change your life. Unless you want to, then I'm for you. So equally, it's your life. You get to do what you want to do. And it's my life and I get to do what I want to do. And if I want to share 40,000 feet in the air in a shower because I get to wash my hair and not be cramped up in cattle class, I'm going to share it. You wait till I'm on a private jet. Okay? There's more to come. I'm not willing to, thank you everyone. I am not willing, and say amen as well to yourself, like playing small, and we're go-getters, but playing small is what we have been doing. And if you are honest, you've been doing it too. I'm not sorry that I surround myself, and that I am a woman, but I also surround myself with women who understand the notion that money in hands of good will be done in the world. So instead of harping on and moaning about what's happening in the world, be the change, get in the rooms, put your money where your mouth is. If you're struggling for money, learn how to make more. Stop thinking everyone's out to get you. Yeah, that's probably true. But also, I choose to believe that everyone is also, if I choose to believe there's help and guidance. I am that for you. It's up to you whether you take my hand. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, no one's forcing you to do something else, to change your life, to improve it, to get more in whatever more looks like, more love. Like, I know, cut it, like, more love, more fulfillment. You know, how about instead of moaning about what the government's doing, again, I didn't expect to go here, but go here we shall. I'm not sorry, from a working class background, that is not going to be my ceiling. Heck no. No way. I'm going to create a life. I'm going to co-create a life, if you know, you know. I'm going to receive a life where abundance is my birthright, and I'm not going to worry what the governments are doing, because I'm going to make sure my family, it's just me, myself, and I at the moment, but that we're not going to worry if milk goes up 20 pence. And trust me, I've been there where I've been counting my change, living paycheck to paycheck, and cleaning toilets and scrubbing pots for hours and hours, and still believing in this dream, and still believing in what I'm doing. And the women are starting to wake up again. Why? They're not waking up, Sarge Sen and anybody else watching. They're aligning, because I'm aligning with the truth of who I am, what I stand for, and with the women that believe in that too, that want that too. Whatever your business is, the how we'll go into it. I'm going off on a tangent. That's what I do. That's what I do. And I live it, I do it, and I show it, and so I can prove it. So that is why you're seeing me like never before now, because she's back up again. And I showed you when I was down. And if you know, you know. You saw me. But this is not what I was seeing, what I was going through. People, oh, look at her. She's fallen. Look at her. She was showing all that, and now look at her. I said, and this is for you as well, look in the mirror of your spirit, of your soul, but also to the outward world, and be like, I don't care what this is showing. It's not the end. That is past. That is a past version of myself and my thoughts. We're not struggling. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. Nope. Okay, anyway, enough coaching. That's like what you get when you're with me. But hun, remembering who we are, we haven't come this far to only get this far. And whilst many women, many people would be like, this is my year. And then by probably, what are we, 13th of Jan? No judgment, but most people, like, okay, we're not those. We confirmation sirens. I see you, and I posted that because if anybody needs reminding today, you know within your spirit and in your soul, this is not an ordinary year. It isn't. Year of the horse, they're saying, like the fire horse. Yeah, and then some. And then some. You forgot it's the horse, the carriage, and everything else. And it's a whole wave of women behind me, alongside me, being unapologetic about what they stand for, what they get to enjoy, what they get to spend their time, effort, energy, resources on, without, and so what? You wouldn't, all right, Janet, you wouldn't waste, I had that too. I wouldn't waste that amount of money on a shower. All right, then have you ever traveled? Have you ever, would you want to? You wouldn't want to, okay. Well, I probably wouldn't spend 12 grand on a kitchen, but each to their own. I would actually like to do both, but I will do both. But did you see what I mean? It's like, I'm not here to say that's what everyone wants, but I am to say whatever it is that you want, you get to have. You just need to stop listening to all those that say you can't, or you wouldn't, or you shouldn't. All right, but it's okay for you to have a new car, is it, John? It's okay for you to do X, Y, and Z, but oh, I can't? That makes zero sense. That makes that much sense. Okay. So you can have a successful business, a successful career, get the promotion, go on your holidays, you be debt free, you not have to worry about money, your family gets to be okay. You get to, I don't know, wear the great suits. Oh, your children get to go to the best schools. But I can't show, I can't share my joy, my life, my wealth, my success. Jog on. Jog on. And sometimes we need to remember that. Because, like I said, when you're feeling a bit down and out, those little things, people looking at me and be like, oh gosh, she had a really good business, but now she's back in this town and look at her working here, doing that, scrubbing toilets. Yeah, because the game ain't over. And people are starting to say yes again. And this is the thing, if anybody needs to have this reminder, the people that want to hire you and say yes are already watching you. You simply are too busy worrying about all the reasons why not, all the reasons why he said, she said, whatever. They don't think that. And I know because I'm proof, because the moment I said, Stacey, Sargeson, come on, Sarge, let's remember what we stand for. And I stand for, before it was an actual buzzword, being unapologetic. It is not negotiable what I would desire, what I want, what I want to experience. And I don't care. Oh, you shouldn't say want. The problem is when you do a lot of this work, all of a sudden you're capping yourself with what you can and can't say because you don't want to manifest it. And then before you know it, you're sat in a corner rocking backwards and forwards being like, what is going on? I know, I've been there. I have been there. Before you know it, you're not saying anything and just like shaking, being like, what went wrong? What went wrong is you held your tongue. What went wrong was you listened to people whose lives you don't even want. What went wrong is the person that you loved said something that cut you to your core because they all of a sudden said you were too much. What went wrong was that you got off track of your vibration, of your alignment, of who you really are, to try and be something that's a watered down version, and diluted yourself. So no wonder people that want you, love, business, collaborations, friendships, connections, are just like, who is this person? I had it literally somebody say, you're not really consistent, like who are you? And I was really hurt by that. And I was like, ouch. But then I was like, actually, you're right. Because if I really were to show you who I am, you would wet yourself. You think I'm Miss High Maintenance already. You wait. You think I'm a contradiction in terms. I can go camping and love it at a 5-star, you can't bend it, luxurious, I don't know, whatever. Like, oh, you're what is it, a contradiction? You have no idea, mate. You have no idea. Yes, I am. Yes, I am confusing. Only to those that aren't willing to understand. I shall say that again. You are confusing only to those whom aren't willing to understand. Because those that, your confusion, your nuances, the this and the that, I've said from day one, I love fish and chips from a chippy, but I also love Dom Perignon with it. Like fish and chips and champagne. Yes, please. Yes, please. Caviar at 40,000 feet. Yes. A packet of crisps on my sofa, share bag, not sharing it. Also yes. In my PJs. Yes. Also yes. You know what I mean? This fitting into a box malarkey. Your people don't register that. Your people want all facets of you, because it's those things that make her or him go, yes, that's my person. That's the person I want to hire. Just like my client did. She knows who she is. She's probably going to watch in a minute. We've just got a call this evening. She was like, I've been watching you for over 10 years and I want to work with you right now. I was like, and even I was like, you do realize in my life, this is what's been happening. Yeah. And I still want you. And I still want you to help me. So don't let anybody tell you it's not possible, gorgeous. Don't let anybody say that it's not possible for you to make your comeback. And many people watch this because they've been following me for a while. Your comeback. You never really left. It feels like you did. And you've lived whole lives since whatever it is that you started. But we're back here now because you're still on the right path. You just let other people tell you that you weren't. Maybe you just let other people say that it's not possible or that you don't deserve it. Or maybe you've allowed yourself to tell you that. A part of yourself that needed to be listened to. And you get to go, that's an interesting awareness that we have here within ourselves, that we can't have this. But do you know what we're going to do? We're going to change that. We're going to shift that. So that was we're long. Is it long though? I've done longer. That's my live stream for today. Anybody that needs reminding, I'm right here with you. And anybody that's like, the judgment is real, I get it. The fear is real, I get it. I felt it before this live stream. I feel it now. There are eyes watching. There will be people like judging, whatever. Okay, jog on. Okay, Yawnsville. Do you have the life that I want? And even if you did, I can promise you now, if anybody has the life that you want and they are saying that to you, I promise you they don't have the life that you want. Because if they did, they wouldn't care. They would not even be focused on you. Do you know what they would do? They would actually cheer you on. If you came back, they would actually like your pictures. The people that do want to see you win, you will be able to see them. Because we love to make ourselves known. Why? Because we know what it takes. Why? Because we know what it's like to get back up and go, do you know what? This is my last X amount in my bank account, but fuck it, all in. And I don't care because I'm going to do this come hell or high water. And I don't care because I will be provided for, because I will not listen to this rhetoric of limitation. I will not conform to mediocrity. I will not, even if everyone around me thinks I'm fucking cuckoo, subscribe to this notion of struggle. I don't care what the economy is doing. There are people investing. How do I know that? Because I do. How do I know that there's people investing? Because I follow people and I see my friends investing in people. And if you don't, mark my words, they are. There is money moving in this world. There are people saying yes to themselves, even though you may be around all these people that don't or won't. That doesn't mean they're the only people in the world. There is billions of people that want what you have, what you know, who you are, who you're becoming, who you're allowing yourself to be. And anybody that's telling you otherwise is lying. They may not know it. It may be their truth, but it's not the only truth. It is not the only truth. And we have met for a reason. And you're going to be seeing more. Maybe not so much long live streams where I pretty much coach for free. Because, hello, one thing I've learned is that those that want to will. They will reach out, they will invest, they will say yes, they will get excited, they will see the possibilities, they will want to be in the rooms, they will want to be around the people, they will want that vibe, that energy, that experience. They just will. But you got to keep focusing on them and not all the lower echelon noises, opinions of other people's limitations, and most of all your own when you're feeling a bit down and out. That is why I unequivocally stand by what I do, how I do it, and you getting the support and accountability, because you've let yourself off the hook a bit. I know. That's why people hire me. My gorgeous client tonight, incredibly able person, doable, go-getter, but needs to massage some magic, because I see you. Right. All right, gorgeous. That's it. Over and out. Curious, send me a DM. That's how it works in my world. No long forms, no website, no landing page, because I'm proving to others that's just a limitation mindset. You want to work with me? Send me a DM. Not that complicated. And we'll go from there. Lots of love. Over and out.